If only more students knew this about secant lines. Our instructions say, find the equation of the secant line connecting f of -5 and f of 2. Before we work on it together, give this problem some thought. First, we're trying to find f of -5, but here we have a piecewise function. So depending on the f of x value that we're trying to go for, the function changes. Now, we're finding, again, f of -5. -5, how does that fit into our range here? Well, it's less than or equal to -3, so for f of -5, we're going to use x plus 3 squared. And we're going to just plug it in like so. And in doing so, we find that f of -5 is -2 squared, which equals 2. Sorry, I'm tired. Which equals 4. And that would be this point right here. Alright, how about f of 2? Now we gotta be a little bit careful here because unlike f of -5, 2 is not less than or equal to -3. So we have to use this one because this is when x is greater than -3. Now this one's interesting because this one says y equals 4, meaning that if we plug in 2, or really any number for that matter, what is always going to be our output value? 4 is always going to be our output value, so f of 2 is 4, which would be this point right there. Now here is where it is really important to pay attention. If I draw a secant line between those 2 points, what's the slope here? Well, remember, slope equals change in y over change in x, right? Now, it really doesn't matter what happens in the change of x part, because if the change in y is no change at all, that means this has a change of 0. And 0 over any number x, besides 0, will always equal 0. So the slope equals 0. Now, in the context of y equals mx plus b, we can't just say y equals x plus b. Why is that? Well, with x plus b, we're inferring a slope of 1. That would be 1x plus b, and that is not a slope of 0. The only way we can get that is if we did 0x plus b. Now, anything times 0, what is it? It is always 0. So that cancels out, and we would just be left with y equals b. Now b, being our y-intercept, is that point right there. And what point does the secant line cross on the y-axis? Well, clearly it crosses at y equals 4. And believe it or not, that's actually the equation of our line, the secant line. There you go. I hope this quick little math tutorial helped. If it did, I'd be thrilled to hear from you.